Welcome back. Now we're going to take a look at some other metrics that we should be measuring most of the time when we're looking at our Google Analytics data. And pages per session is an indication of the average number of pages that a person looks at every time that they're on our site. So if we're trying to increase the number of pages, or if we have things for sale on other pages, this is an indication that we are enticing people to take other steps to look at some of our other pages. And if we're not improving, we need to continually make steps to give people links to click, content to view, so that they'll take those other steps to move to our other pages. Now, another section on this particular page, which is the audience overview, is the average session duration. And this is the amount of time that someone spends on all of our site. So it's not just one page, it's the time they spend on multiple pages before they exit out of our site for that session. And again, depending on what our goals are, it could be a goal that we want them to spend time, or it could be that we want them to come and buy and then move on. But we basically have a measure for us to look at to tell, are people staying around our site? Are they looking at other pages? And how much time do they spend on average? Now to look at the other measures, we're actually going to go to the Behavior tab here on the left side menu. We're going to click the Overview. Now page views is just a raw number. It is the number of times someone views a page on our site. If someone views a page more than once in a particular session, then that will count toward page views. So this is a measure, but we have to remember that you could have someone who is actually viewing one page in particular twice. Now, unique page views is different. This actually measures one page view per page per session. So if a user comes back to a particular page over and over again within a session, that will not be counted in this measure. So the unique page views are always going to be smaller than page views, especially if you have viewers who are looking at multiple pages, or they have pages that they're looking at multiple times. Now what we're going to have is we're going to have some data in this area when you're actually collecting. And this will give you those individual pages where people are spending the most time, where you're getting the most page views. And you're going to want to take a look at this number because this will tell you where people are spending their time when they're on our site. Now there's also a measure in behavior called average time on page. And this number is measured on a page-by-page basis. So again, this is a different measure. And if we want to know if we're keeping people on a particular page, this measure will actually tell us. Of course, then there is the bounce rate. And the bounce rate is basically described as this. A user comes to our site, they land on a page, and then they leave from that very same page. So in other words, they bounced off the page. And so it is an indication that for whatever reason, that person did not stay on that site, or it didn't entice them to go to other pages on our site. The exit percentage will tell us how often someone leaves our site from a particular page. So again, this will give us an indication on a specific page that someone is finding that they can leave from this page. Now, depending on what your business model is, it could be that someone is supposed to leave from a particular page. But if you have content, or you're engaging people, or you're starting to add content to some of the pages where people are exiting, you want to be able to measure that over time. So you now have 14 measures that you can actually use and look at repeatedly. Now, this will not stop you from creating custom reports and looking at more detail, but these 14 things are things that you can keep track of that'll help you to determine what's happening on your site. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.